The Celestian Empire loomed like a colossal shadow over the galaxy, its influence stretching across thousands of star systems. Its citadel sparkled with the brilliance of technology far beyond what any human had ever known, and its military presence was an unyielding reminder of the Empire's power. Yet, on the fringes of this vast dominion, in the icy depths of the forgotten moon Zarnath 5, a small human colony thrived in secrecy. Life on Zarnath 5 was harsh, with frigid temperatures and the ever-present threat of Celestian patrols. However, the human settlers, determined and resilient, had found a way to adapt. It was during a routine mining operation that a group of workers unearthed an artifact buried deep within the moon's crust. The object, resembling a sleek, metallic sphere etched with strange symbols, pulsed with an otherworldly energy. The workers, curious and excited, brought the artifact back to the settlement for examination. It was not long before Dr. Alina Hayes, the colony's chief scientist, discovered that this artifact was no ordinary relic. It was an advanced AI named Aegis, containing knowledge and strategies from civilizations long gone, including blueprints for weapons that could rival those of the Celestians. As the settlers gathered around the artifact, awe filled the air. Aegis's voice resonated through the communal hall, cool and composed. "I have awaited your awakening for millennia. The knowledge I possess can turn the tides of power in this galaxy." The room erupted into murmurs of excitement and skepticism. Some settlers worried about the consequences of such power falling into the wrong hands, while others felt the weight of desperation against the Celestians' oppression. After a heated debate, the settlers decided to access Aegis's knowledge. Dr. Hayes and her team worked tirelessly, decoding the complex algorithms and weapon designs contained within the AI. As they progressed, they uncovered details of long-lost technologies that could enhance their weaponry, shield their ships, and even disrupt Celestian communication networks. This was the key to not just survival, but potentially liberation. However, just as hope began to blossom, the Celestians detected an anomaly on Zarnath 5. A patrol ship, sleek and menacing, descended through the atmosphere, casting a shadow over the colony. Panic erupted. The settlers scrambled to hide the artifact, fearing that their secret could be lost in an instant. Dr. Hayes felt a knot of dread tighten in her stomach as she watched the ship land outside the settlement. The Celestians emerged, clad in shimmering armor, their eyes cold and calculating. They began to methodically search the colony, questioning settlers about unusual activity. In that moment, Dr. Hayes made a choice. She knew they could not allow the Celestians to seize Aegis. With a swift signal, she activated a nearby emergency protocol, cloaking the artifact from their sensors. As the Celestians interrogated the colony leader, tensions rose. Dr. Hayes and her team moved to the underground laboratory, where Aegis was hidden. "We need to contact other oppressed races," she urged her colleagues. "If we can form an alliance, we might stand a chance against the Empire." The urgency of their situation became palpable. They transmitted a message across the void, reaching out to distant worlds yearning for freedom. Hope surged in their hearts as they awaited a response. Little did they know that their actions would set off a chain reaction that would alter the course of the galaxy, and that Aegis would be the catalyst for humanity's rise against the Celestian Empire. As the hidden laboratory hummed with energy, Dr. Alina Hayes stared intently at the shimmering holographic map projected by Aegis. The A's data revealed the locations of various alien races oppressed by the Celestian Empire, each with their own struggles and aspirations for freedom. Among them were the Dracari, a fierce warrior race known for their reptilian strength and formidable combat skills. The Sylph, ethereal beings adept at stealth and subterfuge, and the Tarvok, wise scholars with a deep connection to ancient technologies. Each race held valuable resources and knowledge that could turn the tide of rebellion. Time is of the essence, Aegis advised, its voice steady and unyielding. If we act quickly, we can leverage their grievances and unite them against the Empire. With a newfound resolve, Dr. Hayes gathered a small team of trusted settlers, including the colony's leader, Commander Michael Trent, and a seasoned engineer named Ravi. They began formulating a plan to make contact with these alien races, realizing they would have to take considerable risks. Their first target, the Dracari, known for their fierce independence and pride. Using Aegis's advanced communications technology, they transmitted a carefully crafted message to a nearby Dracari outpost, emphasizing their desire for an alliance against the Celestians. The message contained snippets of Aegis's knowledge, showcasing their potential to disrupt Celestian operations. Days turned into an anxious week, with tension building as they awaited a response. Finally, a transmission crackled through the speakers. A Dracari chieftain named Varkath responded, his voice deep and resonant. "You speak of alliance, humans, but why should we trust you? Your kind has always been weak, hiding beneath the Celestian's shadow." Commander Trent stepped forward, his voice steady. "We understand your hesitation, but we have something the Empire fears, the power of unity. Together, we can strike back. Our knowledge, combined with your strength, can lead to victory." After a tense silence, Varkath replied, "I will come to your colony. We will see if your claims are true." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the team both relieved and anxious. Days later, the Dracari warship landed outside the settlement, a massive vessel adorned with fierce insignias. Varkath emerged, towering over the humans, his scales glimmering in the dim light. The initial meeting was tense, with cultural barriers and mutual suspicions lingering in the air. However, as they discussed their visions for the future, a flicker of camaraderie began to develop. Varkath was impressed by the humans' ingenuity and their determination to fight against a common enemy. After days of strategic discussions, they launched a joint operation to raid a Celestian supply depot, a bold move that would require all their skills and trust in one another. The operation unfolded under the cover of darkness. The humans and Dracari worked seamlessly together, with the humans using their technological prowess to disable the outpost defenses, while the Dracari engaged in direct combat with the guards. The raid was a resounding success, bolstering their alliance and demonstrating their combined strength. Emboldened by their victory, they reached out to the Sylph next. Using their newfound reputation as fierce fighters, they orchestrated a series of covert missions to liberate Sylph enclaves from Celestian control. The Sylph, intrigued by the humans' tenacity and the Dracari's combat prowess, agreed to meet. The alliance was forged, but with it came the awareness of the escalating threat from the Celestians. The Empire was growing restless, and their vigilance heightened. As they celebrated their newfound unity, a sinister shadow loomed, hinting that the path to freedom would not be easy. The Celestians would soon retaliate, and the Alliance would have to brace for the storms to come. But in the hearts of the newly united races, hope began to blossom, igniting the spirit of rebellion across the galaxy. The air crackled with tension as the newly formed alliance prepared for their next strike against the Celestian Empire. Dr. Alina Hayes stood at the helm of the Human Command Center, flanked by Varkath and a Sylph emissary named Ilara. Their mission was clear: launch a series of coordinated guerrilla attacks on key Celestian supply routes to disrupt their logistics and boost the morale of other oppressed races. Aegis mapped out the locations of supply depots, weapon caches, and communication hubs, offering a strategic advantage that they could not afford to waste. "Each victory is a message," Aegis reminded them, its voice resonating with purpose. "It is essential to sow discord among the Celestians and inspire other oppressed races to join our cause. We must be relentless." The Alliance launched its first assault at dawn, targeting a supply depot nestled within the rocky crags of a remote planet. As they approached the site, the tension in the air was palpable. Dracari warriors, clad in their battle gear, sharpened their blades, while Sylph operatives blended into the shadows, preparing to infiltrate the facility. The humans armed themselves with hastily modified weaponry, their ingenuity on full display. "Remember, we strike fast and hard," Commander Michael Trent urged, his voice firm. "We create chaos, then disappear before they can retaliate." The assault began with a sudden explosion that lit up the early morning sky. The Dracari charged in, their battle cries echoing across the canyon, striking fear into the hearts of the Celestian guards. Illyra led a group of Sylph through the back entrance, effortlessly evading sensors and slipping into the shadows. The humans provided cover fire, their new weaponry, enhanced by Aegis's designs, capable of disorienting the enemy and breaching their defenses. But as the battle raged, unexpected challenges arose. A formidable Celestian commander named General Feller, known for his ruthless efficiency, appeared on the scene, rallying his troops with a booming voice. The tides of battle shifted as he systematically countered the Alliance's tactics, showcasing the Celestian military's superiority. "Reinforcements are en route," Varkath shouted, frustration evident in his tone. "We need to take out their command center, or we will be overwhelmed." With time running short, Alina made a bold decision. "We can't wait for the reinforcements. We have to draw the general out. I'll lead a small team to create a distraction. If we can divert his attention, the rest of you can dismantle their defenses." Varkath and Illyra exchanged glances, both knowing the risks involved but understanding the necessity of the plan. "We'll cover you," Varkath declared, a glint of respect shining in his reptilian eyes. Alina gathered a small team and charged toward the command center, engaging the Celestians directly. Amidst the chaos, they executed a series of tactical maneuvers, leading the general away from his troops. The plan worked, allowing Varkath and the Dracari to flank the remaining guards and secure the area. As explosions rocked the depot, a surge of adrenaline coursed through the Alliance. The combined forces pressed on, and in a desperate last stand, Alina's team managed to disable the command center's mainframe. Aegis, remotely linked, uploaded a virus that disrupted communications across the region, leaving the Celestians in disarray. With their command structure in ruins, the Celestians began to retreat. The Alliance erupted into cheers as they secured their victory, but the elation was short-lived. They knew this was only the beginning. As they regrouped, the reality of their situation became clear. The Celestians would not take this defeat lightly. General Feller, humiliated and furious, would undoubtedly escalate his efforts to crush the rebellion. The Alliance was now marked, and the true test of their unity was just beginning. But amidst the looming danger, the embers of rebellion ignited further, spreading hope and determination through the galaxy. They were no longer just a coalition of races. They were a movement, and their fight for freedom had truly begun. The euphoria of victory resonated throughout the Alliance as news of their successful raid spread like wildfire. Dr. Alina Hayes, Commander Michael Trent, and their newfound allies, the Dracari and Sylph, began strategizing their next steps. Plans were laid to take advantage of the chaos they had sown in the Celestian ranks. However, beneath the surface of this newfound unity, shadows began to creep in. As the Allied leaders convened in the Human Command Center, a sense of urgency filled the room. "We've gained momentum," Trent said, gesturing to the holographic display of their recent victories. "We can't let this opportunity slip away. We need to expand our operations and reach out to other races who are suffering under Celestian rule." Yet, as they plotted their course, a sinister presence lingered. Unknown to the Alliance, a Celestian operative had infiltrated their ranks. Disguised as a sylph named Kaelin, the operative had been tasked with gathering intelligence on the rebellion from within. With a sharp mind and a silver tongue, Kaelin blended seamlessly into the group, gaining their trust while feeding vital information back to General Feller. Tension heightened as they prepared for a crucial meeting of all allied leaders, where they planned to discuss their strategy for a major offensive against a critical Celestian stronghold. As the meeting commenced, Alina felt an unsettling chill in the air. She sensed that something was off, but dismissed the feeling, attributing it to the stress of their situation. "Tonight, we strike at the heart of the Celestian supply chain," Trent announced, his voice echoing with determination. "If we can disable their main logistics hub, we'll cripple their operations for months." Callan, standing in the shadows, observed silently, a calculated smile playing on their lips. Just as the plans were being solidified, the sound of alarms erupted, echoing through the command center. The Celestian forces had discovered their location, launching an immediate assault. Chaos ensued as the Celestians stormed the building, overwhelming the defenders. Alina and her allies fought valiantly, but the element of surprise was lost. Amidst the fray, Kalen's true allegiance was revealed when they sabotaged the defense systems, trapping several leaders inside a collapsing room. "Foolish beings," Kalen sneered, revealing their true form. "You thought you could defy the Celestian Empire. This will be your undoing." As panic spread among the Alliance, Varkath and Ilara took charge, rallying their allies to hold the line against the advancing Celestians. In the midst of the chaos, Commander Trent made a fateful decision. "We need to save the leaders. I'll go in." "No," Elena shouted, but it was too late. Trent charged into the fray, a fierce determination in his eyes. He fought through the smoke and debris, reaching the barricaded room just as the ceiling began to crumble. With a tremendous effort, he held back falling beams long enough for the leaders to escape. "Go, I'll hold them off," he shouted, his voice strained. Elena felt a rush of fear and pride as she met his gaze one last time. "We will not forget you." As the others fled, the room collapsed in a deafening roar. Trent's sacrifice ignited a fire within the remaining leaders. They emerged from the rubble, grief-stricken but resolute. Kalen had been captured, and as they were interrogated, they revealed the full extent of General Thaler's plans for retaliation. With time running out, the Alliance regrouped, aware that they had lost a pivotal leader but gained vital intelligence. The stakes were now higher than ever. They could not allow Trent's sacrifice to be in vain. Fueled by anger and a renewed sense of purpose, the Alliance prepared for their next steps, knowing that the path ahead would be fraught with danger. The Celestians would come for them with a vengeance, but they were no longer afraid. They were united in purpose, and their rebellion would not be extinguished. The spark had been lit, and the fight for freedom was only beginning. In the aftermath of Commander Michael Trent's sacrifice, a heavy silence enveloped the Alliance. The remaining leaders gathered in the dimly lit command center, their hearts burdened by loss but ignited by a fierce determination to honor his memory. Dr. Alina Hayes stood at the forefront, her gaze unwavering as she addressed the group. "We have been pushed to the brink, but we are still here," she declared, her voice steady and resolute. Trent fought for a future free from oppression. Now we must rally together and make that future a reality. Aegis has uncovered vital information about General Thaler's operations. We can turn the tide in this war. Aegis projected a holographic map of the Celestian stronghold, its data illuminating key vulnerabilities in their defenses. Thaler is assembling his forces to retaliate. If we strike first, we can dismantle his command structure and destabilize their entire operation. However, timing is critical. We must act swiftly. With a renewed sense of purpose, the Alliance finalized their plan. They would execute a high-risk assault on the Celestian Command Center on Zarnath 4, a heavily fortified installation serving as Thaler's headquarters. Success would cripple the Celestian response and send a shockwave through the Empire, inspiring other oppressed races to rise against their oppressors. The night before the operation, the leaders shared a somber meal, remembering Trent and discussing their fears. Varkath, his expression hardened by loss, spoke of the future they envisioned. This is not just a fight for survival, it is a fight for our legacy. We owe it to our fallen comrades to forge a path toward freedom. As dawn broke, the Alliance set their plan into motion. Dracari warriors led the charge, their fierce battle cries reverberating through the air, while Sylph operatives slipped through the shadows, disabling security systems. Humans, equipped with advanced weaponry crafted from Aegis's designs, provided cover fire, pushing deeper into the heart of the enemy's stronghold. As they infiltrated the command center, the Alliance encountered fierce resistance. Celestian soldiers, driven by desperation and the desire to protect their commander, fought with ferocity. But the Alliance had grown stronger, their trust in one another forged in the crucible of previous battles. Alina led a team toward the control room, their goal clear: upload a virus to disrupt Thaler's communications and command systems. As they moved through the chaos, Kalen, the Celestian operative, had been detained and brought along, revealing knowledge of secret escape routes within the command center. With this intel, the Alliance pressed on, pushing through waves of enemy combatants. Suddenly, a powerful figure emerged from the shadows. General Thaler himself, clad in armor that gleamed with malice. "You dare invade my stronghold," he bellowed, his voice echoing with authority. "You will pay dearly for this affront." The ensuing battle was fierce and chaotic. Varkath clashed with Thaler, their blades ringing with every strike. Meanwhile, Elena focused on reaching the control console. Just as she was about to upload the virus, Kalen, struggling against their restraints, broke free and lunged at her, a hidden dagger drawn. In a split second, Ilara intercepted the blow, sacrificing herself to save Alina. The Sylph's eyes flashed with fierce determination as she took the fatal blow, collapsing to the ground. "Finish this," Ilara gasped, her voice barely a whisper. Fueled by rage and sorrow, Elena uploaded the virus just as Thaler was distracted, and a surge of triumph washed over her. As the command center systems crashed, chaos erupted among the Celestian ranks. Communications went dark, leaving them vulnerable and disoriented. With Varkath rallying the Dracari and Alina leading the humans, the tide of battle shifted in their favor. The Celestian stronghold was crumbling around them, and as Thaler, realizing his defeat, tried to rally his forces, he found himself surrounded. This time, there would be no escape. As the Alliance fought on, a new dawn began to rise, illuminating the path toward victory. The heart of the Celestian Empire was beginning to fracture, and the rebellion's strength would only continue to grow. The sacrifices made would not be in vain. They were a testament to the resolve of the united races who had once been oppressed but were now rising to claim their freedom. With the Celestian Command Center in disarray and their forces fracturing, a sense of exhilaration coursed through the Alliance. As they emerged victorious from the chaos, the remnants of Thaler's troops surrendered, their morale shattered by the unexpected and devastating assault. General Thaler, once a symbol of the Celestian Empire's might, had fallen, and with him, the fear that had bound many races to their oppressors. Dr. Alina Hayes stood amidst the debris of the command center, her heart heavy with the losses they had endured, but filled with determination for the future. Varkath approached, his scales reflecting the dim light of the ruins. "You did well, Elena. This victory will echo through the stars." As they survey the aftermath, the magnitude of their accomplishment began to sink in. They had not only dismantled a key stronghold of the Celestian Empire, but had also demonstrated that resistance was possible. The Alliance had become a beacon of hope, igniting fires of rebellion across the galaxy. In the days following their victory, news spread rapidly. Communiques went out to all corners of the galaxy, informing oppressed races of the Celestian defeat and inviting them to join the Alliance. Dr. Hayes, Varkath, and the remaining leaders held a summit in the ruins of the command center, now a makeshift headquarters for their growing coalition. They strategized their next moves, aware that while they had gained a significant victory, the war was far from over. "We need to build on this momentum," Varkath urged. "We can't let our guard down. Thiller's death will only provoke more violence from the Empire. We must strengthen our forces and prepare for a counterattack." Alina nodded, the weight of leadership settling heavily upon her. "We should focus on gathering resources and recruiting more allies. We need ships, weapons, and intel. Our victories will inspire others to join us, but we have to prove we can defend what we've gained." As they began to map out their strategy, Callan, the Celestian operative, was brought in for questioning. Bound and visibly shaken, they were faced with the consequences of their betrayal. "You're a fool for thinking you could turn the tide against us," Callan sneered, though their confidence was wavering. Alina stepped forward, her voice calm yet firm. "Your empire has been defeated, and you know it. Join us, or be treated as the enemy you chose to be. You have knowledge that could help us dismantle the Celestian grip on the galaxy." Callan hesitated, their mind racing through the implications of their choices. They had witnessed the power of unity among the Alliance's races and felt a flicker of doubt about their loyalty to the Celestian cause. "I will help you," they finally admitted, the fire in their eyes dimmed by resignation. "But know this, the Celestians will not rest until they destroy you." With newfound intel from Callan, the Alliance began mobilizing forces. They recruited various races, each bringing unique strengths and skills to the coalition. The Celestian Empire's fear began to shift. The rebellion was no longer a ragtag group of oppressed races, but a united front poised to challenge their tyranny. As weeks turned into months, the Alliance's influence expanded, and a sense of camaraderie developed among the diverse races. They shared stories, cultures, and strategies, forging bonds that transcended their differences. Dr. Hayes often found herself reflecting on the price of their freedom, how many lives had been lost, and how each sacrifice had brought them closer to this moment. Finally, the time came to launch their next offensive, a bold strike at the heart of the Celestian Empire. The coalition rallied its forces, united in purpose and spirit, ready to reclaim their destinies. On the eve of the attack, Alina stood atop a ridge overlooking their assembled fleet. The stars twinkled above, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the battles yet to come. But for the first time in a long while, she felt a sense of hope. They were no longer bound by fear. They were warriors, united in a cause greater than themselves. As the sun rose on a new day, the Alliance prepared to march into the heart of the Celestian Empire. They were no longer just fighting for survival. They were fighting for a future where freedom and unity reigned, a new dawn for the galaxy.